Alright, hello YouTube. I'm here to talk about um Obscure Expedition 33. Uh, my my experience with the game and how I like the game, the review, and what I think about it. And yeah. So I wrote some notes on my phone and yeah, I got a lot to say. The story, make it sound interesting. So yeah, it's currently raining outside, so I'm just in this shelter. Yeah, so I'm trying to make this video as consistent. So here you go is what I got. So so in a place called Lumiere, it was it's fictional France, and I don't know what year it took place in, but yeah, it's been, let's say, like 100 years in a certain calendar or timeline. But like 67 years later, there was this thing called the Paintress, and so apparently, like, behind it was like a family in power that could like paint the world or something. And what I don't understand is, like, there's writers, painters, yeah, that's all I can know, remember. I started to figure that out at the end of the game when I finished, but yeah. So, yeah. Um, what else? So, the start of the game, you play as a character named Gustav, and he wears a suit, and apparently he's part of this organization called the Expeditioners, and yeah, and he has like a squad, like it was like I'm not sure how many. It was like a handful, like a platoon, probably like I'm gonna say like 10 people at best, but yeah. So at the start, he was gonna give flowers to his friend or his wife, I think it was. I'm not sure. But you have the option to like either take it to her or not, or just leave it. Cause they're at like the ceremony called yeah, so they're celebrating a ceremony in the town of Lumiere, and so what I did was I did the tutorial at the start where you battle Malel, Mael, and yeah, I like her combat. It's really cool. Like a one style sword fencing style, but yeah, it was you could charge like each ability point like by attacking until you charge it up for a better move. I used that for Gustav and finished her off with the supercharge or overcharge attack. But yeah, it was they show you how to parry first with the tutorials. Um, it's straightforward, not in RPGs. They don't have a parry system, but like yeah, I think like the old it was there for like the PlayStation 1 era, I would say. Like um yeah, another game like I'm not sure what it was called, like something Panzer Dragoon or something. Or that's not even the game was called. I forgot, but I don't even know what I'm talking about. Not really sure, but what I'm trying to say is like the game's not like the first to have a parry system. For I'm not sure for a fact, but moving on from topic. Um, yeah, so Mael joins the party, and they go down to the dock. Uh, I think Chroma is like the currency of the game, called Chroma. Yeah. You could change your haircut at the start, but I decided to keep like everything default at the start of the game. Yeah. Uh, so there's this thing called the Gumage. Um, like every year it counts down, but in that particular year it becomes the 33rd expedition's turn. Like each expedition, uh, I would say the highest I've seen was 70. So, but yeah. I'm gonna say expedition 067 or 0. I think I'm not sure if there was a 67, but what I'm saying. But one of the main characters is like a 67 years old, but never aged of immortality. There's some, yeah, but so, what do I think about the story? The Gamage I was talking about is like if you ever seen the movie, the Avengers, Infinity War, like they when Thanos like snaps his fingers, they all disappear or something like that. Like they fade away. Yeah, so that's like the Gamage. And when it counts down, the paintress like Gamage's people, and they just fade away. And you watch like this person important to him like just go, like disappear. So that's tough. And yeah. Okay, so I might pull up my notes and what I think about the start. Apparently, like their team, like they get really something bad happens to them. I don't really want to spoil it, but yeah, they meet up and at something woods or something. Here, I'm gonna start pulling up my notes. Give me a second. Yeah. And so pull up my notes. And I'll just talk about them as quick as possible. Okay, well, the first, I think like the first place is called the Sacred Woods or something. And, they just need to find their way out of it. And I like how, like, the color's all blue trees, like glowing blue trees. And I like how the music changes. Like, yeah, and there's like expedition flags. That like it's like their number that appears where they are. Here's what so I forgot what was the first boss like. I don't remember. I like how you could just you use a range attack in the battle to like hit their weak point. It costs like in one ability point from the start. Like you usually start with 4, and then you could have 3 if shooting your weak point. And there's like this skill perk system where you can find them across the world map or within the dungeon. I'll call them dungeons, the caves. and you got your world map. So you use the perks called Picos, and there's like a bunch of them, like over 50 or something. But yeah, you can level up. They like level up every time to the max, or by defeating a certain battle, or when you first get them, you have to do like 4 battles to level them up at that certain point. And if you have them in a later on a later time and you fight a battle that's important, you level them from the second time, like say like level 15 of a pit cost. Like you start at like level 3, then like level 5. But yeah, so yeah, next thing I'm trying to say is, yeah, so like the parry system is kind of cool. Sometimes what I do is I try to listen and just like observe like what they do, and like when they make a sound, I just make a sound like pow, like and yeah, it like does that. Flag 52 in the Gestural Village. He writes in the journal how he could learn from them, the Gestural Village. The theme reminded me of another game, other RPGs made by Square Enix. Uh, the Gestural Village. They how does a Gestural like die? Is they just stop moving and they just stand there. So a Gestural is like this paintbrush-looking creature entity. It looks really artistic, and I like the art direction by it. So the Gestrals believe that they use chroma for offerings, and they offer it to the sacred river for rebirth, or they will be where they believe they will be rebirthed. Is what I wrote down. I wrote down that a Gestral seemed to travel with Lumerian Mushi and searched the year 43. I'm not sure what I wrote there. Yeah, the Gestral village, they will like challenge you. You can fight the merchant and you get like either a Picos, and I got one. And yeah. And you're required to fight in this tournament, and outside of like there was like these Gestrals just on standby, and saying like they're a Bertrand Big Hands fan. But yeah. From the camps, I learned that Gustav had a business called like Aqua Farm 3 or something. And Gustav wants Mello to stay with the Gestrals. And Flag 66, Esquier. Esquier. Esquier is like this big giant, like round thingy that could like turns into a ball and could fly, could swim real fast. You use them for the overworld, but yeah. What I got is well, once you get to Flag 66, I like the place how it's like rippling waters, the soundtrack, and it's like purple and like jellyfish. He wants to find a Flory rock, but he like loses it all the time. The main antagonist is, what I gotta say is like, there are two, but they're both really cool and have their own story. Yeah. So in the boss fight, you find SKA's friend called Francisco or something. And that boss battle is like a little annoying for me. Like how it was pretty easy, but like he like has an ice beam at the end. And it's like you should parry it. It wasn't that hard, but yeah. They talk in riddles. The Sacred Village. Just have to dodge ice.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Marcel. Cancel. Well, so like an important character, Mael, like gets nightmares and sees visions of the future or deja vu, and yeah, she starts to copy Gustav's way of throwing rocks and why she likes to throw rocks. But yeah, so I resonated with that part when Miles throwing rocks at the camp, not at the camp, or into like somewhere else abyss, you know, like you're throwing rocks into a river. So I saw this video of a monk, a guru, saying something about distractions of rippling waters pushing like from distractions, and yeah, it has a ripple effect, something like that. Yeah. Expedition 50 stranded when they ferry wheel broke down. Lucio. Oh, you get a new character called Lucio after you get you participate in the tournament. Yeah, in expedition journals, expedition 50, I think, there were some expeditions that like took an airship to go around. Has their own way of traveling and is like special in their own way. But yeah, it looks like the government of Lumiere just like didn't treat some people right, or in the past they don't like. It was something there that I'm missing, but yeah. It was Expedition 78. Maximus stealing an airship doesn't like the leader hiding in the dome. I don't know what that means, but fortune favors the bold, he was saying. Like they didn't really want to be corrupted by who was ruling the expeditioners at that time. One of the boss was called Lampmaster. His light attacks were annoyed. He had lanterns as his design. Sometimes I failed to jump the second phase. Like, sometimes to counter attack, you would have to jump. And you meet someone named Verso, who's 67 years old. Heading north at the night camp of the beginning of the act. I think this was Act 2. Verso says Monami is like their way of communication with Eskie, because they were like friends for like a very long time. So Mael didn't want any more condolences of the people they lost so far within the journey. We went to a place where we would bury Gustav's arm near a tree. I think, dang, I just don't know who Julie is. It's the merchant's snowy place. So we go to the snowy place and we meet Monoko. And this guy, like, their species is also, I forgot their name though, but it's another important species, but they're not really in the main quest. They're not really mentioned for some reason. It's like, yeah, I didn't pay attention. The side quest here, there's a lot, and I just like don't want to go through with it. And you find old Lemire, and you get there's a merchant that sells Seal's a new weapon. It's called the Algeron. It's the only recorded. This is what I recorded on my notes. There's like Flag 69 or Expedition 69. Monoko says, was it Flag 39 actually? I defeated the Mask Keeper to dodge most of its attacks. 21 parries. Fighting the Axons were tough, I think. I played on story mode. And yeah. Lucille's like personality was had a way of defeating the boss battle, I would say. Here's a quote, but I don't know who said it. Writing is a cathartic for me. It helps getting through out of my head and onto the paper, giving shape to my feelings. Oh wait, this is when they were at the camp. When you talk with Lune, if you're Gustav. They said something like that. Or yeah, they're talking about reading each other's diary. I think Expedition 70 got further than most expeditions, but yeah. I learned a new word called Veneroceries. It's just a pastry in French tradition. That's what I learned. Was there... I think I found an Easter egg that you could hear a chocobo's cry in the camp. if you just stay somewhere. I don't know, or that's just me when I was using my headphones. But yeah, you could hear a chocobo, or that's just me. So in Act 3, I got for Act 3, got a new sword, every strong, almost every 20. Yeah, you could level up your swords to like, up to like level... once you get to level 20, upgrading, you get the third perk of that sword. It makes it really good. Yeah. The final battle, well, here's what I gotta say, like, words I don't understand, like what's it called? The canary? The canvas. Yeah, so like, where they, it's like a domain from where they could have their own conscious and like they paint their own story. So like, uh, well, I choose the ending where you just wanted to stop the family from doing what they're doing because the main character wanted it, and it shows in cutscenes. So yeah, and it shows the epilogue, and yeah, all that. So what I'm saying, I give the game really good. It's soundtrack's pretty good. You gotta try it out. And yeah, I didn't feel like doing all the side quests, but yeah. So that's all I got today. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I already said that. Peace.